This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Adam Newman, and we go a full episode talking about how you would make a hotel that provided you with a companion animal. Dog, cat, maybe a lizard. There's a lot of logistics to talk about. Here we go, Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. Excited for our guest this week. Adam Newman is here. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me. If this is the first time you're hearing my voice, hello, everybody.
Yeah, we got you. I guess we could have kept in the Guitar Center part because it does look like you live in a Guitar Center, and I think that's great.
It was a good riff. Shout out to Barry Rothbart for saying my apartment looked like a Guitar Center 8 years ago, and it stuck with me ever since.
And for you, for still loving the possibility that you could live in a Guitar Center.
I feel like they're probably going to go out of business at some point, and there's just going to be some warehouse space with the guitar wall hangers already up there, and I'll be able to just move my own stuff in, maybe. We'll
that
see.
Actually, probably, yeah. I think that's a good plan. You're starting off strong here.
That's my first dumb pitch, is I would like to move into a Guitar Center. It's a pitch for me and my family, me and my wife and my pets, to move into a Guitar Center.
A lot of space.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. There's some soundproof rooms, which I think there's some soundproof rooms. I think my wife would appreciate that. As you can see, I'm a loud roommate.
Yeah.
So there you go. First, I thought I only had one dumb pitch, but it turned out
that's
I had
great. That's pretty good. Well, we weren't even into them yet, but now I'm going to have to think about it. Mostly because I don't even know why I'm thinking. So many people bring up like a zombie apocalypse and like where you would go. A lot of people say Costco, but maybe a Guitar Center is that might be a safe place for that.
You take everything out of a Guitar Center and everything out of a Costco. Size-wise, I imagine you're gonna. It's gonna
pretty
be
similar,
bigger,
yeah.
But it's similar. Yeah, similar structure. You know what? I imagine people have pitched that on the pod before, but like just places to live. Do you do this when you walk into places? Most places I walk into, I think I go, if I lived here, where would I put the bed? And what would the bathroom situation be? And most places have a bathroom. And then surprisingly, a lot of buildings do have secret showers or places you could install a shower. So that is fun to walk into a place and go, how would I set this up if I lived here?
If I get trapped here today, where would I create my living space? That's
interesting that you went with trapped, because I'm very much thinking voluntarily. I had the opportunity
choose to move into,
Yeah. But sometimes being trapped is an opportunity.
If you look at it, you stay positive.
It's just attitude. I clearly have had a therapy session recently. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Well, first, hold on. Normally we start the show.
Oh, let's do it how you normally do it.
By giving people your good ideas, your credit, so they know you haven't only had bad ideas. We don't want to start it. So you are a comedian, musician, as we can see by your Guitar Center bedroom. The new stuff coming. You have a new special called Jew versus the Volcano that is available now. It's out as an album too, and this is actually your 5th album, which is a lot.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
Prolific.
5 hours of comedy out there that people can just listen to, that and judge me. And then 5 hours of comedy, now there's no excuse for someone coming to see me on a comedy club and going, we didn't expect it to be that dirty or something.
Or something like that. Yeah.
We didn't know it was going to be so. 5 hours. That is crazy. But I'm old now. I didn't think I was going to.
I guess that's what happened if you keep doing it. You also have a podcast for men who love cats.
Yes.
Which I think
mostly female listeners. We've turned out.
They're trying to find maybe a man who loves cats so they can.
Yeah, but can't get us. We are 4 locked down middle-aged dudes who love our cats. Pussy boys. That's all Z's. Don't type in the S's.
I think that's how did it take you that long to become comfortable with loving cats? That you were like, I got to be figured out and stable before I can do this podcast?
That's a good question for me. No, I've been a dog and cat guy my whole life. I got 2 cats and a dog now. I've had cats
Nice.
growing up. I had dogs growing up, but three of the 3 other dudes on the podcast never had cats until they were with their forever partners. Is that a word for like a partner? And actually, I mean, it could have been the name for their cats if you just spell it with a FUR. Forever part. There's got to be a dog. There's got to be an animal shelter that's already used that pun.
It's
a million
forever,
times.
forever home, but it's
Yeah,
FUR.
forever
Yeah,
home.
that's
There
pretty
you go.
good.
But yeah, 3 of
Forever
the
part. I
dudes-
don't know, but that's pretty. I see what you're saying though. Forever partner. I understand.
Yeah. Are you a pet person? Do you have any animals?
We don't have any currently. I am a dog person, and I just one with traveling. I think you understand that part.
But yeah,
It's kind of
very much.
hard. And then my wife is not really an animal person, so her having to take care of things when I'm gone, she's not excited about.
Yeah.
The other part is, I had a dog until I was like 24. He got sick and all that, and I think from an emotional standpoint, I've been avoiding getting more because I don't
fully
know if I can
understand
handle
that.
it again.
My solution to that is before you deal with the pain, you replace it immediately and put all your emotions into that one. And
Yeah, I
never
have seen
properly deal with. Yeah.
Seen that happen before. Yeah, that wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, we have a home.
we just fade
Now
out
I'm thinking
and
about it too
both
much.
sob for an hour.
We have a home that we rent, and we're not allowed to have animals there, so that's been helpful for her argument. We would like to buy a home in the next couple years, and it's maybe more on the table depending on the yard situation.
All right. Well, you'll keep us all updated.
I will, absolutely, yes. And that's why people tune in, actually. So to see what sweatshirt I'm wearing and figure out if I can get a dog yet.
It's a good sweatshirt. We're both wearing sweatshirts. I believe we probably got on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, of course.
Yeah, you got your Texas gas station one. I got my Schmiggities in, if you've ever done the where was it? Steamboat Colorado Summer Series.
Oh, no, I haven't, but I have heard of it.
Yeah, very fun, cool music
Schmiggities.
venue in Steamboat. And so we did that. I think I was the first Jewish person any of them have ever seen.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you got a souvenir.
Just so you know, I know I just dropped that now in the specials Jew versus the volcano, but it's not all very little amount of Jew stuff. That's not I'm not just out there that's not my whole personality, my whole thing.
I mean, this is really the first time you brought it up so far, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, good. Cat guy. I just want to be known as a cat
Mostly
guy.
cat guy, secondary.
We're just trying to take the
spouse,
stigma away from
musician.
big, strong dudes liking cats, And
Yeah,
yes,
you know that stigma. Okay. All right. Well, now let's see. Let's get into it. What was your bad idea you brought us today?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm sure this happens many times. It is a bad idea, and I can see the holes in the idea, but I also think it's a good idea, and I think maybe it just needs help. And
this does happen often, yes.
And I know you shouldn't build things up or not. I know the rule in improv is just reveal it, because the more I talk about it without saying it, it just leads to disappointment. And I can't stop myself from doing it right now. But I'm going to build it up. I'm going to a little bit go, this is based on stuff we've already talked about. This is being on the road. This is being lonely on the road. This is being an animal person. My pitch is I want some sort of hotel situation where your room comes with an animal. Okay?
Okay.
And I see the holes in it. Like, I see problems with it immediately, but there is an idea here that can work. I know there is. Like, because me being on the road, being a married guy who's not like a big drinker partier guy, I want to do my show. I want to hang out a little bit, have some fun conversations, eat the fun food, and then I want to go back to my hotel room, watch whatever show I'm watching, play a little guitar, eat whatever the fun local food is. And then I miss my wife. I can't have my wife on the road with me. I miss
you in a room that comes with a wife. That's
that's a great other pitch. This is I guess a sadder version of that. But yeah, I wanna be able to go to here's the other thing too. Like, me and my wife are very like we don't like we got a big bed, and then when we sleep we like our space when we sleep, right?
Yeah.
You can do all the touching, cuddling, massaging, whatever you want to do. Heavy petting. I don't want to get gross on your podcast.
Massaging. I don't know why massaging is weirder than if you just said sex, but
Yeah. Hardcore massaging. And
massage.
I I
You know,
want
that marital
rubbing.
massage.
Yeah. Yeah. Marital massage sounds dirtier than any
That's so
uh
upsetting.
yeah, it is. Marital massage. Ugh. That made me feel my age more than anything else has. Um, you guys know what I'm talking about. You and your marital massage. We're in marital massage therapy right now. We, but no, once it's time to go to sleep, we like, we like to
Yeah.
have our space to sleep comfortably. But
Mhm.
what ends up happening is I do end up, we have the dog in between us, and then my cat, we have two cats. One cat sleeps out here, so the cats don't murder each other. And then my cat is curled up on me, and it's my favorite thing. I love having my cat curled up on me. I want, when I'm in a hotel room on the road, I want that nighttime animal
Some
companionship.
sort of, yeah. It seems like you got a whole setup, a whole like cocoon made for you of
Yeah.
animals, and that
It's
that
my
would be a big difference without any of them.
Yeah.
Not that your wife's an animal, but you know what I mean. There's a
Well, we're all animals as long as we say it in a non demeaning way. I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yes,
We're
yes,
all,
yes.
but we all got hair and reproductive organs and poop and stuff. So technically,
yes, all
animals.
animals. Okay.
I think.
Um.
How do we make it work?
Yeah. So this is
Let's-
okay. So I guess these are. I'm going through the process in my mind of what your. Well, I guess you would make the reservation first. Do you get to choose what kind of animal companion is in there, or is it like all dogs and cats, or
I love this
some
question.
people like a good lizard or something?
Oh, wonderful! You've already gone further than I've because you got to like. I definitely came in with this is throwing an idea out there, throwing a soft pitch out there, and so
Mhm.
clear that was the extent of how far I've thought it out.
Oh,
Other
sweet.
than
Okay, so we have.
one thing that I do that I'm guilty of all the time. This is just a relationship thing, and there's another therapy thing. Is I go to the problems immediately. I say I try not to do this, but it's you say no immediately. You look at the obstacles immediately. You look at any
Got
reason
it.
to say no, and I'm trying to not do that. And so
Okay, this could be good practice.
instead, I like that instead of looking at the problems first, you're asking questions on how it works 1st. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love this being like let's say when you open up a website, like a car rental website, and here are your options. You have you can get an SUV, you can get a pickup truck, you can get a sports car, you can get your economy, you can get whatever. I love that it would have like, what are you looking for? Cat, a dog, a lizard. That was your example. I don't want if people skipped 15 seconds, I don't want them to think that I took lizard from you. But I like that. First thing, you get an option, and then subcategories. You got a dog. Do you want a puppy? Do you want a big dog? You
Ooh.
want a little dog?
Yeah.
You want you go to, I mean, I don't know how specific these hotels can get. You go as specific as breeds. You want a golden retriever? You want a Papillon?
Sure.
You want a
Yeah.
pug?
I was thinking one that would do you want one that is, likes affection, or one that's kind of maybe that's more of a cat thing of like, do you want to spend the night with a cat that doesn't want anything to do with you?
I mean, it's hilarious because it's like, first of all, why would you be like, all right, I want to stay in this hotel and I need the companionship of an animal. I want it. Like my head, I'm like, I want a cat that snuggles up with me. But what if your cat at home, you love your cat, but your cat is a standoffish cat and kind of ignores you, but it's part of its charm. You're like, I want kind of a asshole cat. I want a cat who's gonna ignore me, because that
you
feels
guys
like
got
home.
anything that'll like knock my shit off the table while I'm sleeping or something? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's exactly. I want a cat that's gonna softly graze his claws against the side of my face until I wake up.
Yeah.
And feed them. Are you supposed to? That's it. That's the thing too. It's like, okay, are we doing a litter box in the room?
Yeah.
If it's a dog, am I responsible for walking the dog, or is it like, maid service? They take care of it.
Yeah, those are great questions, and maybe some obstacles here, but we could be creating jobs.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, when you first said it, I had this vision of like some sort of inner area that had like a doggy door that went into each room, you know? And
Wow.
so then
Yeah.
it wouldn't be open. You know how in like the Humane Society sometimes there's like the inside cage and then there's like a door that goes to outside,
Sure.
but they're still in the same cage, but it's like outside versus inside. Kind of like that. So then
Yeah.
maybe all of those things, like the zoo,
Yes.
when
Oh,
you know, like
totally.
where you can view them versus where they like get bathed or eat or whatever is separate, but there's like a door in between. So kind of like that. So whatever they needed to more of the maintenance hygiene stuff they would do over there, and then it would just come into your room.
All right. I like this as a jumping off point for like the animals' access to, you know, where they're not as fun pet stuff versus when they're just in the room with you.
It's fun.
I do want to figure out the doggy door situation in the hotel, because know you're getting some rando popping their head through there or something.
Absolutely. Or
I
don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed. I've noticed a trend a lot more in hotels lately, where when I check into a room, I'll see, this has happened twice in the last little trip I did, where people already had like either stickers or like toilet paper kind of shoved into the peephole in the hotel.
Oh.
I think there's been a few incidences with some sketchy peephole situations. People putting in peepholes backwards and stuff, and spying on people. Some real sketchy things.
You know, hadn't been worried about that until now, so that's good.
Yeah, well, I posted a picture. I was like, why are people I was like, this is twice that this has happened, and people are just sending me. A lot
of people already knew.
News stories. Yeah, there's been a few crazy kind of stalker spying video camera gross stuff. Cover up that. It's like the we were already afraid of that little camera on your laptops. Now you gotta be afraid of the peephole in your hotel
sticky
room.
Notes all over everything.
Yep.
Great. I had I've had a couple of, has this ever happened to you when you check in and then maybe they told you a room, you go to that room and then clearly somebody else was already in it?
Yes.
Just recently, which he hadn't checked in yet, so that actually worked. But the most recent one was just I checked in and there was like a whole gift basket for, you know, Dr. Langhorn or whatever, and I was like, and I like opened it and looked, because at first I was, you know, whatever, I'm working at a club that I hadn't worked before, and so part of me was like, oh, or maybe this hotel does that, you know, but then it had like medical conference stuff on it, and I was like, oh, never mind, this is not for me. And so I don't know, I don't really struggle with making good decisions anymore, but there was a part of me that was like, yeah, you know, a younger me may have gone through and like taken the good snacks out or something, you know, because he wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I would have heard something behind me, turned around, Dr. Langhorn would be sitting there with his stethoscope on and stuff, and I'm just faces covered with peppermint bark.
I like the idea that he has his stethoscope on in the hotel room, just in between.
I know all the doctors. I have some doctors in the extended family, and they are notorious for showing up to weddings and stuff with their scrubs on. Some doctors just desperately want people to know they're doctors.
Right? You're like, we get it. You're a doctor. Oh my god.
That's why me and you always show up to places with a microphone and a fake brick wall background
just behind me all the time.
Oh yeah.
This is not the studios. This is the one I bring with me here.
Is that your apartment? You have a brick wall in your apartment? I actually did. I don't know why I say that. I had an apartment in New York that had a brick wall, and
that would be cool. No, this is our studio, but
yeah, I just realized what a lost opportunity it was for me to not be doing
a podcast
shots and whatever. That would have been Vine era. I could have been doing Vines in front of a brick wall, no green screen needed.
Nope.
Man, I really blew that. I could have been a big Vine comedian, I feel like.
But you know, whatever, I called down. No, I think I walked down. And I was like, hey, this guy's stuff was in my, and then he looked it up and was like, oh, it's supposed to be 2 rooms over. They were supposed to put that in. I was like, you know, I just feel like we watched so many shows when we were younger where like if you found money and were responsible and gave it back, there was some sort of reward. And I don't feel like I'm ever rewarded when I'm honest in these situations. I'm like, you don't have an extra one laying around or something for me?
I got 2 not fun. I got 2 money finding stories for you. Okay. Quick ones. First one, I was a child with my mom. We were going to the grocery store. I'm gonna say I was probably in like first grade,
Okay.
7 years old.
Okay.
My mom used to say, "Up before we go in, we got to go to the money machine." Right, that's what she would call the ATM. She still does. But we got to go to the money machine, and I love how sometimes your parents talk to you like they still use the same words as when you're a kid. Anyway, so I go running first to the money machine, the ATM outside the grocery store, and I get to, and there's a $20 bill sitting in there, and I'm, when you're 6 or 7, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Oh, we have to return that. We have to bring it to customer service. What if an old lady lost it or something?" And I was like, "No, I want to keep it. I want to keep it. Whatever." And with like that was the amount of arguing I did. My mom goes, "Okay, fine, we'll split it." And that's what we did. And so
She's
that
like,
was
well,
my
I'm
first
getting 10 out of this.
yeah. So that was my first lesson in finding money, what you should do. Second thing is, like, a couple months ago, I was in a music store. I just like went in to buy, guitar strings or whatever. And it's a music store that I go to all the time here, and I know kind of everybody who works there because I'm just in there hanging out all the time because I don't have real friends. I
Was
need to
you
talk
trying to
to
move
people
in? Yeah.
who work at a place. Yes, I'm trying to move into the Sam Ash on Hollywood, which is closing. I'm so sad. But there was just a wad of money. I was literally just walking in one of the little parts of the store, and I just see just a gigantic wad of money that you would see like a gangster pull out of his pocket or whatever, out of his suit pocket. And I picked it up, and it's just got like 20s on the outside, and I have no idea how much it was. And nobody saw me. I'm sure there's cameras in the store, but I also just picked it up off the ground. I didn't do it. And then one of like the dudes who works there, who I've been friendly with for a few years, I just go, "Hey man, I just found this on the ground. I don't know why. I didn't think about it. I just gave it to him." He goes, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." And he like went upstairs. I believe that he did it. I don't think he pocketed it. He went upstairs and gave it to the manager, and I was like so bummed that I didn't get a reward.
Yeah. Or
Or
like, do you at least know that the person who lost it was able to get it back or something? Like, I want some sort of, I mean, yes, of course, I want that person to be, "Oh, ma'am, you dropped this, $10,000," and she's like, "Oh, here's 1,000 for you." Like, that's what I want to happen. But that's not.
I got no reward.
Yeah.
And honestly, the opposite of a reward is now months later, I'm talking about it on a podcast. Like, look at this awesome thing I did, but I'm mad that I didn't get anything in return for it. So honestly, it doesn't make none of it makes me look good. The truth is I did a good thing.
None of this was beneficial.
And it's like, I can't even say like it was an altruistic thing, because I think I would have just, knowing myself as like, most, I would say, for the most part, musicians are there are not professional musicians. It's just like you're either a struggling musician or it's a hobby, and it's an expensive hobby. And so I would have felt guilty just like if I would have found out it's like some crazy, or it was like some PA for like a band that was playing that night, or they just like sent a runner out to go get something at the store. Oh, I don't know. I had that old, it might have been an old lady in my head all over again.
Yeah,
but I didn't have my mom there to split it with. If my mom was there, we would have split it.
I wouldn't have turned it in. I would have split it.
She would have, yeah. That would have been fun. That would have been great if years later it came around where my mom found it on the ground, and I was like, "Mom, I come here all the time. It's not right. We have to return it." And she was like, "No." And she wouldn't have split it with me. She would have given me 20%. That's what I feel like.
She would have pretended like she turned it in and then just kept it.
I did. I went in. I was in there again a few weeks ago, and I asked about it, and I was like, "Did that?" And the guy was like, "I don't know." I gave it to the manager, and that was the last you heard. So I got no good story.
Oh,
bummer.
God. Bummer. Anyway, okay. All right, back to the animal hotel.
Animal hotel.
It's I guess my other not concerns, would be, okay, so you can choose what type of animal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the other thing. Are these animals? How do we make sure they're under? They're being
taken care of.
Yeah. Are these like adoptable,
I guess storage
animals,
too?
Or
yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea too. That like maybe it's partnered with some sort of shelter, or the hotel is like also a shelter, because that takes care of also like, where are the animals? Like, what if it's a slow weekend at the hotel? What do we do? So I imagine maybe they have like maybe the basement. I don't want to say the basement. Give them some fresh air. Maybe like the back area. They have some sort of shelter type enclosure, some a
Yeah.
volunteer based
Like a
or
yeah, what's the like a doggy daycare area where they
yeah,
all play and stuff. That's fun.
yeah, yeah. Because there's also got to be, hey, there's a fun animal pun intended. Some vetting has to also take place because for the guests, like, I mean, I know that if I go ahead and make a reservation, I'm just gonna treat the animal how it's
Oh,
supposed
I
to be
didn't think
treated.
about
But
that. Yeah.
what if some animal psycho perv violent guy goes in there and wants to do
Yeah.
something bad to the animals? There's got
Want
to be
somebody
some
to
sort
come
of
and try to fuck the animals or something.
yeah, try to fuck the animals.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like poke it violently, but you said fuck it.
That seems the same, but it's
You're right. That is basically the same thing. It's different euphemisms. Uh, but yeah, so I think the biggest problem there is safety for the
yeah.
animals and safety for the guest. You got to guarantee that this dog's not gonna rip somebody's face off.
Yeah. Maybe it's like older dogs that are just chilling. I don't
Yeah,
know. This is I mean, I get it. Just you're right. There's plenty of flaws here, but
but it's not like when you go. It's like when you go skydiving, you sign a waiver going
yeah.
like, if the chute doesn't open,
I'm
this
sure there
company's
would
not
have to be
responsible for it.
a lot of like liability stuff like, "Hey, this is what you're getting into," you know.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
fuck the dogs. They won't bite you. If they do, it's your fault, whatever. Like that kind of thing.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
my God. If the dog bites you and you fucked it, it's like, Jesus, like,
That's
what did you
why.
think was going to happen?
Yeah.
No one's held responsible for that. Honestly, even if you got your face ripped off, you still are. I still believe the person who instigates an animal attack by sexually assaulting the animal is the person who gets in trouble first. That's my belief. I don't
Yeah,
want to get it canceled.
I agree with that 100%. I don't think we'll get too much pushback on that, but maybe.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's got to be a million rules. You can't feed the animals things other than hotel approved
Right. There'd
things.
probably be like snacks. If you wanted to do treats or something, you know, then you could put those in the room that
Yeah.
the hotel provided or whatever. And then if they're still in charge of the feeding, like regular feeding and stuff, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't give them weird people food stuff. Or
No
whatever.
guarantee the animal's gonna like you.
That's true.
That'd be the saddest thing
That
ever.
would be so sad. Be like,
Oh
I
my
gotta
God.
get a little bit of love from
Yeah.
an animal while I'm on the road, and then the
Yeah.
animal's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Because it's also like, I mean, this idea came about from me wanting to feel more like I was at home when I'm on the road, but I guess it could also be for people who maybe don't have like if let's say, okay, you have a wife
Yep.
who maybe doesn't want a pet right now and you live in a place that doesn't allow pets. What if you're
Mm-hmm.
like what if you're just like I had a child, I just want a couple days where I feel like I have a dog
Yeah.
and this is a place that you can go do that. Or if you're in a place where you're thinking about getting a dog but like I wonder what it's like, I only know what it's
That's
like to
good
have a dog for
too.
a few hours. What if what's like, it's a trial thing.
Oh,
um
that's pretty good.
you go to
Especially
do
if you
that,
could adopt them, because then you could you could try it out with that dog. If you get along, you just adopt that dog.
you're like I'm leaving with them.
Yeah, you're coming with me. That's I think we're on to something. I mean, yes, there's gonna be a lot of rules and maybe some paperwork, but
Yeah, that's how you figure out things with problems. You're like, okay, well then I mean, any real problem you go, okay, well, paperwork, legal things, we work that stuff out. And it's literally
and then
like
it's fine.
you sign a thing.
Yeah.
You can, I imagine you can be like, you have 5 minutes in the lobby first to interact. I mean, in the lobby, there's like a little play. Like when I adopted my cat, there was a playroom. There was a little, you take the cat in the little
Oh.
playroom, you interact with it, you get some toys, and you're like, is this cat playful? When I got my cat, I picked him up and he just started purring and was like head on my shoulder. I was like, that's it.
Yep.
Me and this cat connected. But like before that, they were trying to sell me on this cat named Kruger. He was a 7-month-old male kitten and he had one eye. And immediately I was like, I like that. I like it. I like, I'm on Instagram. I feel like that could work
Right.
out for me. No, I would never.
One-eyed cats are pretty good.
It's funny because sometimes you see like a pet with problems, missing a leg, or missing an eye, and you're like, Oh, the truth is that cat's gonna be adopted easier because somebody really is gonna be like, there's gonna be a viral cat, and that's not what I'm looking for. I mean,
Right.
whatever. I'm happy if the animal, if people on the internet respond, but I'm not doing it for those reasons. I
Right,
want
that
an
reason.
animal I
Yeah, yeah.
connect with.
You got a new screen name that's like one-eyed sailor or whatever.
One-eyed cat guy. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's why they
one-eyed
took.
cat guy.
Yeah. Anyway, took Kruger into the room. He was very interested in the toys. Could not give less of a shit about me. So
Okay.
we didn't connect. So I went with Greg, whose name was Toby, which is a bad name.
Yeah. So Greg is good because I actually, when I got my dog Luke, that's what happened. I picked him up and the other dog that was there was like barking all over the place, running around. Didn't like that. Picked Luke up and then he just kind of cuddled
Yep.
into me. I was
Other
like, I
dogs
want this one.
faded out. The other dogs faded out, disappeared in the background.
You guys are stupid. Yep.
Yep. And then imagine you were just like, and then they were like, now you and that dog can have a hotel room for a few nights. And you can see how it goes for a day or two.
Yeah, you can.
And then you can bring them home.
Simulate what your life will be like. It does sound weird when you say it like that, but yes, I get.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Now you and
Get
this
a
dog can
room.
have a hotel room. Yeah, exactly. Oh, clearly you guys like each other.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there. I'm sure there'll be
We're
comments.
acknowledging
about
there's
people's-
obstacles.
Yeah.
This is called dumb pitches. This isn't
that's
come in with
also-
your.
fully thought out ideas podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have those, but I'm not bringing those to you. Those are
No.
for nobody. I'll tell you, no, nobody honestly wants to hear my fully formed ideas. They used to. Lately, no one wants to hear my ideas anymore. So I appreciate being able to come and give my half baked ones.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Speaking of fully formed ideas, tell us again about the special and where people can find it and where people can follow you so they can come to you and stuff like that.
Brand new hour-long special, Jew versus the volcano. It's on YouTube. It's got music. It's got stories. It's got jokes. It's got one magic trick. And
Wow.
the internet is it's really funny. It's got one magic trick on it, and it's clearly meant to be funny. And I posted the reel on a bunch of things, but it kind of hit on Facebook, and they're all arguing about whether like the trick is real or how I did it. And it's like, you guys, I fart a quarter out of my ass. It's not like it's I love that people are like, he's not really magic, and I'm like, you guys, that's not the point.
I know
of
that
it.
after all the rest well, I guess you'd have to see the whole thing. If you only saw that part, you'd be like, this is
You
the
really
weirdest
don't.
magician I've ever
You really,
seen. But
you really don't have to see the rest of it.
to know if you're magic or not, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good
but
trick.
You should. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna have to go find just that part.
I
but
mean,
I'm just kidding.
start with
watch the whole thing.
Yeah, watch the whole thing. It's funny. It's very good. We gotta get some views on this thing. It's been up for like 5 days. I don't know how you get views on these specials. I'm posting the reels. Maybe I'm not connecting with people. I don't know, but I gotta get those numbers up.
Well,
you know?
we're doing everything we can, so we'll
really
make
are.
sure in this in the description of this episode you can find the link right to it. Oh, easy.
That was good.
So go watch it. Go follow Adam. If you're here on YouTube, go straight over there and watch it. You can
right over
subscribe
there.
here. Yeah, and or if you're listening, rate, review, subscribe, do all that stuff for us. I just put up the second leg of the formal sweatpants tour. Dates are up.
Are you into fancy sweatpants? I got some Mac Weldons on right now.
Nice. I just love sweatpants in general. But yes, I'm particular. But the formal
not sponsored.
sweatpants.
I wasn't trying to throw that. I was just saying over, pandemic
I wish.
Pandemic hit, the skinny jeans went out, and my wife got me on some fancy sweatpants, and it was pretty good. And I'm heading to Costco after this, and I'm gonna last time I was there, I picked up some Champion joggers, very good price.
Solid sweatpants at Costco. If anybody's wondering, I'm sure you weren't, but there's good selections there. Sometimes they come in a pack.
Oh, I haven't gotten it. That's gonna be a pack of sweatpants. That sounds awesome.
A new low.
New.
That's good. All right. Well, you have to check in about the sweatpants. Thank you again so much for being here. Everyone follow and go check out Jew versus the Volcano. But right now you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches. Yes.